Stop whatever the hell you're doing right now and go watch Tokyo Revengers. Click that subscribe button, turn on notification bells, like the video, and comment what you'd like me to review next. Tokyo Revengers is now popping off. Everyone was talking about how if this manga got adapted, it would break the internet. It's not breaking the internet. I had not read anything about it. I did not know what to expect at all. I had no context about Tokyo Revengers. But I heard that this shit was hot. This ish is fire, bro. It doesn't have the most fire. It's definitely making a lot of noise right now. Sadly, we are still a point in anime that I don't think enough of big content creators are talking about Tokyo Revengers right now and hyping it up. This anime is so captivating. It's not a banger like Jujutsu Kaisen. It has to be catchy and iconic. It leaves me in dire need for more. These cliffhangers got me so captivated and invested into this series. The plot is actually very convoluted. It hasn't been done in anime before. This anime is also about time travel, Erased, Steins Gate, or Rascal Dreams of Dreamigo. Now, when anime fights are straight hands, those are some of the best underrated anime fights ever. I love straight mittens. It goes hard as fuck. Your main character needs to have superpowers for it to break the internet. But give it some time, and I think by the end of the season, it definitely might. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, share. Please let me know what you'd like me to review next.
I'm not sure why I haven't seen in the West as much hype for Tokyo Revengers as you would expect. I'm a little bit lost why the West isn't really going crazy over Tokyo Revengers. I'm at a loss why Tokyo Revengers isn't more hyped up and why people aren't talking about it more. Hype shit.
Tokyo Revengers breaks the mold in so many different ways. I absolutely adore every single part of this story. It feels grounded, so serious, and so genuine and gritty. Actual psychological themes that make it feel so grounded in reality. Such a distinct art style. It stands out in every way as one of the most interesting looking anime and feels so unique and fresh, so different, but also feels so similar to some of the best anime out there. Incredible beauty and intricacy that it simply isn't seen in a lot of anime. There is nothing like Tokyo Revengers, and I mean that in its complete sincerity. This show stands out as its own being, and I love that.
Major update for the Tokyo Revengers manga. I can't even believe we're here at this point, but it has quite a bit of sales because according to this, it says Tokyo Revengers manga tops 32 million copies in circulation. The manga has more than 32 million copies in circulation. Wakui drew an illustration to commemorate surpassing 30 million copies. The 32 million is for copies in circulation. When it comes to the numbers, right, a lot of people aren't like, oh yay, that's what sold. Everybody's just running off the, what's in circulation number at this point. In circulation numbers anyway, so that's what people are going to run with, and that's what people are going to compare. We're going to just continue running with the circulation numbers because that's what we have as, fact right now. The impressive thing is that the manga only had 5 million copies in circulation in September 2020 and about 8 million copies in February 2020. So basically, the anime blew this shit all the way up, rightfully so. I say it every single time I get an opportunity to talk about Tokyo Revengers with the anime. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it's been a joy to watch every week. And yeah, 32 million copies, fam. I see maybe we could have 50 million by the end of this year. I don't know. Either way, definitely by this time next year, 50 million, no questions asked, if it continues this way, because even when we look at sales, it's just astronomical. But shout outs to Ken Wakui's Tokyo Revengers. 32 million, baby.
Tokyo Revengers took the anime community by storm. I was thoroughly surprised of how engaging the anime was. I binged every single episode that was out at the time. This should be a great indicator on how great I think this show is. Tokyo Revengers really did feel like it blew up in popularity within the blink of an eye. They got it all. Cool hair, awesome bikes, great fighting skills, literally, and I mean literally, the whole shebang. Everybody loves rooting for the underdog, and for Takemichi's case, at least for me, I couldn't be any more prouder and hyped up when I see him getting closer and closer to achieving his goal. Not only does it incorporate all these twists and turns for the mystery incredibly well, but it causes the audience to theorize on so many things because the anime was quite smart about what hints they wanted to show us here and there. It pulled me deeper and deeper in love with this anime. Anyway, with everything I just said in this video, I think you can truly understand why Tokyo Revengers works. It's the combination of so many lovable characters, a really great underdog story with this great mystery, and to top it all off, these jaw-dropping moments that make you more and more invested with the show. Needless to say, there are a lot of reasons why Tokyo Revengers is great, and I can't wait for more of the manga to be adapted because man, it's going to be amazing.
Anyone else remember Tokyo Revengers? Because it kind of just got really quiet all of a sudden for Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers was somewhere, like whether it be the top 50 best-selling manga, it filled up the charts, there was new info, it was just insane. And then like the last couple of months, it's been quiet. They came out with a new trailer, and yet I didn't even know about it for days until after the fact. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a new trailer for Tokyo, what? The talk for Tokyo Revengers dropped a lot over the last couple of months. A lot of people have been hating on the manga. A lot of people have been for months now saying that the manga fell off. It's terrible. All of that conversation really killed a lot of the hype for Tokyo Revengers. I'm just not seeing people really talking about it. There's not much talk. There's not much posts. Not enough blogs posting about it or nothing. It's like very, very odd.
Please rate the manga. The story in the manga up to date is a solid 10,000 out of 10.
Okay, the net game is long right there. Holy crap.
The story of Tokyo Revengers in the manga just claps Attack on Titan and rest of the series.
These necks don't look weird. That's how they're supposed to be. Real people are made wrong.
Before judging the anime, read the manga completely and then say anything you want. Tokyo Revengers is better than your favorite anime or manga.
Giraffe neck. Rolling Executor. Yo, this is just comedy gold.
Be up to date with the Tokyo Revengers manga and I'm sure you'll be a fan of it.
What's with the necks? Yo!
I admit the MC is freaking trash, but the other characters are godly.
Well, at least Vegeta aged well into his neck, unlike this. This is just... Yo, aren't they even human at that point?
I started hearing a lot of slander about, hey, the manga has fallen off and all that, yada yada. I ain't hear too much about Tokyo Revengers, but yeah, Tokyo Revengers, the criminal activity in Japan has arisen and it's contributing to the crime rate over there in Japan. 31 Tokyo Revenger fans were arrested for reckless driving. There is a certain level of influence. Tokyo Revengers has a certain edge to it and it might be pushing it towards, yeah, people are getting influenced to be a little radical over there in Japan. You better have some very, very influential parents or something because they taking you down. You ain't Mikey, dog. This is the Tokyo Revengers where seemingly no adults exist and all the kids are just complete brutes and savages. What the hell is going on with this world, fam? What? Why does this anime get so much hate, and why do so many people say Tokyo Revengers is just not it, fam? It's not lit. I feel like this series is lit. I mean, I know the manga got problems later on down the road, but that's a different story.
Please rate the manga. The story in the manga up to date is a solid 10,000 out of 10. The story of Tokyo Revengers in the manga just claps Attack on Titan and rest of the series. Before judging the anime, read the manga completely and then say anything you want. Tokyo Revengers is better than your favorite anime or manga. Be up to date with the Tokyo Revengers manga and I'm sure you'll be a fan of it.
Tokyo Revengers is one of the most popular series ever to have this much hate, despite the fact that it is enormous. There has to be some credence to people like it for some reason, because Tokyo Revengers is one of the biggest and highest selling series. It reminds me of back in the days in a strange way of like when Fairy Tail was humongous, Hiro Mashima's big series that he had. Everybody was like hating on it. It was still massively popular. Fairy Tail was one of those cases. What are we doing here, dog? That's not the wave. Well, then again, considering it's popular to do, maybe it is.
Tokyo Revengers is as good as Fairy Tail and you hate it because it's the popular thing to do.
Tokyo Revengers is back where, yeah, Takamichi's a crybaby, we don't care. But then those same people are gonna be championing Deku or Katekyo Hitman Reborn Tsunayoshi Sabada, two crybaby characters as well.
Great examples you are mentioning there, mate. Two overhyped shows that also fell off and everybody hates or ignores them. You really proved your point.
It's trying to be somewhat grounded to reality of Japan don't got guns. A lot of people don't believe it because we've seen gang culture in the West, and you compare it to these biker kids, and it's like, dog, if somebody like Mikey is coming to kick somebody over here in the West thinking like he's a big bad dude, he's gonna get, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna light him up, bro. This is a reality, maybe not for our culture, but in Japan, delinquency, bad kids that are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing is a problem. So it's not necessarily unrealistic, it's unrealistic to your idea of gang culture and bikers because you don't see it around you. But in Japan, it's resonating very well. You ain't Mikey, dog. This is the Tokyo Revengers where seemingly no adults exist and all the kids are just complete brutes and savages. The main characters are crybaby. We don't believe these gangsters. I'm sorry, you need more people. We don't believe you. Despite the fact that the manga author himself was a gang member and writes from the perspective of that, I think that adds more validity to it, right? You ain't Mikey, dog. This is the Tokyo Revengers where seemingly no adults exist and all the kids are just complete brutes and savages. Like, I totally understand trying to resonate and find realism in a story, but Tokyo Revengers, I look at it like Black Clover.
What?
I look at it as it's an escapism because I'm not familiar with that culture in Japan. I'm not familiar with biker gangs and, you know, these bad kids. So to me, it's just kind of like, this doesn't really exist in my surroundings. So I'm going to look at it and see what it's all about.
Tokyo Revengers is as good as Black Clover, and you watch it just to see what's going to happen.
By no means is it to glorify it, and in fact, I don't think Tokyo Revengers glorifies gang violence either. The whole point of the premise of this story is the fact that this is what gangs lead to. Avoid it at all costs unless you want to go through the nightmare that this crybaby Takemichi is going through. Yeah, Tokyo Revengers, the criminal activity in Japan has arisen and it's contributing to the crime rate over there in Japan. 31 Tokyo Revenger fans were arrested for reckless driving. There is a certain level of influence. Tokyo Revengers has a certain edge to it and it might be pushing it towards, yeah, people are getting influenced to be a little radical over there in Japan. Tokyo Revengers is way overhated, and with the new season, the Christmas Showdown arc beginning, I'm hype and I wanted to be the voice for you out there that you like Tokyo Revengers. You know a lot of people that be crapping on it, dunking on it, saying it's not worth your time, and you wanted somebody to come and tell you, yo, no, pretty good, I like it.
Tokyo Revengers is an average to bad anime that blew up in popularity by people with bad taste, and I'm gonna tell you the reasons why. The biggest issue most people have with it is the terrible protagonist. He's 26 years old and he still acts like a 10-year-old crybaby. Call it arrested development all you like, that is excused by the harsh life he had, or that such people exist in real life, therefore it's realistic, and it's still not gonna make him a protagonist most people can get behind. Although there are lots of shows that start off with a lame loser protagonist for the sake of having a lot of room for character development, this show is not doing that. He never changes, and every time he acts brave, it doesn't last long before he goes back to being a crybaby. Therefore, it's a major turn-off when you see him acting the exact same way, all the time, without ever changing to something better. Also, he's not smart. You could excuse his lack of guts or power, and you could still like him for using his brains or life experiences for solving whatever issues he has. It would make the show to feel smart as well. Well, he doesn't even do that. To the most part, he's incapable to do the slightest thing and never uses his knowledge of past events in present time, which is the whole point of being given the ability to time travel. If you're given a second chance to do things right, why aren't you using what you know to your benefit? For example, he doesn't invest in Bitcoin so he can be a billionaire in the present. That way he's not gonna be a collar worker, a loser anymore, and he will have enough resources for hiring people to investigate the murder case of the past. But nope, all he does is acting like an idiot who doesn't know a thing and doesn't do anything about it. Also, let's not overlook the fact that he's an adult who dates a minor. Don't give me that shit about being in the body of a 14-year-old makes it okay. It's not okay for the same reason 300-year-old lolly vampires are fine to have sex with. He's a pedo. For all these reasons, he ends up being the worst character in the show, which is not a good thing when he's supposed to be the main character. There are those who claim he's not the protagonist since the gang members like Mickey are doing all the work and are cool to watch. It still doesn't change the fact that we are watching the show from the perspective of the worst character. Why isn't Mickey the protagonist? And why isn't Takemichi doing something for not being such a waste of time? The presentation is all wrong. And that is not limited to who the main character is. Nobody looks or acts like they are supposed to. The school kids are supposed to be 14-year-old children, and yet look and act like 30-year-old professional mobsters. Takemichi is supposed to be a man in his 20s and acts like a baby. It's very off-putting. then it's the setting which doesn't do much for allowing you to take the show a bit more seriously. We hardly see any parents or teachers or the police doing anything to stop a bunch of 14-year-old boys. It's as if children are free to do anything they like and there are no adults that can do anything about it. It comes off as juvenile power fantasy and ruins the gravity of the drama it tries so hard to make you care about. Setting aside the drama in general is stupid. It uses all the typical cliches you expect to find in low-tier shonen. Tak no jutsu, the power of friendship, using willpower to stand up after being beaten up, convenient last-moment saves, and forgetting to call an ambulance when one of your friends is dying right in front of you. It just makes you facepalm all the time. Not even the time travel mechanics make any sense, not that they ever do, but in this case they don't even try to explain why does it work that way, or why there is no butterfly effect for every change in the past. It's only used for revealing information in the present after something happened in the past, which comes off as if everyone knows about it and talks about it in the present, only when the plot demands for it, and not because they had to do something about it for a whole decade. Are you really telling me these people are waiting a decade for a specific day to come, so they can reveal something that they knew all about for years? And if most of what I said can be labeled as nitpicking, remember that we are now in the post-Demon Slayer era. Since most people only care about pretty colors and are willing to forgive all the plot holes and the bad writing as long as the fights are cool, Demon Slayer raised the bar so much for those people to the point it's no longer easy to turn a blind eye. Anything that is not as good as Demon Slayer can no longer be forgiven for his mishaps. And since nothing is so well animated, then there are no excuses for any show anymore. Tokyo Revengers has average production values, and nothing about its plot or characters is that good compared to other shows. There are better anime with school delinquents, or gangsters, or time travel, or pretty colors. It's just a mediocrity that was blown out of proportion by dumb seasonal hype, when by itself it has nothing exceptional about it. And that is the worst thing that can happen to any series as it is airing, being mediocre and yet presented as a masterpiece. Most people will obviously dislike it since it's not as good as the hype made it up to be, which is why a month after it began airing, the internet was filled with people asking why is this mediocrity considered to be a masterpiece by so many sellouts who only care about hyping seasonal trash for clout. Well, the answer is in the question, isn't it? Tokyo Revengers was never good, and anyone with critical thinking like me would know that right away.
We're definitely gonna have to have Tokyo Revengers in the conversation of not only one of the top-selling manga of the year, but also one of the best series of the year. Tokyo Revengers absolutely came unexpectedly and slapped up the anime and manga world with absolute greatness. At the end of every episode, you are left with the most insane cliffhanger that leaves you like, oh shit, I gotta keep on going. I gotta keep on watching. I gotta keep on reading. It is the master, I would say, of cliffhangers. Love it. It's incredible. You really continue with each and every episode and chapter to be like, I can't stop, I can't put it down, which almost creates a damn near addiction and obsession of like, I have to find out what is going on. Witnessing people dying, oh my god, the Baji Bloody Halloween arc was incredible. That shit in the anime was insane, especially with Baji's death. You fucking piece of shit, Kisaki. You bitch. You fucking pussy ass motherfucker, Kisaki. I would slap the living fuck out of you. That's the signs of a fantastic villain. Ken Wakui's creation there with this Kisaki character, you know, dude did a phenomenal job with. That was genuinely real, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking hate that motherfucker, and rightfully so. Like, you're legitimately supposed to hate him. I was hoping for something a little bit more grandioso, a little bit more otherworldly, so to speak, for Kisaki's goals, because essentially it's a simple thing, a simple reasoning behind why he's doing all this madness that almost feels a little bit too like, really fam? You're doing all of these really, really devilish, evil, fucked up things left and right because a girl said that you were smart when you was little. I ain't gonna lie, Kisaki, you're an evil, devilish piece of shit, and you're very well written in that regard, but in terms of his motives, fam, what? The drive behind you is, huh? Tokyo Revengers is one of the best manga of 2021, if not the best. Ken Wakui maybe was going to end it all right there with that final arc, and maybe because, again, Tokyo Revengers is one of the highest selling manga out of nowhere with like 35 million sales, probably the studio and probably the people behind Kodansha and all that jazz came and said, can you extend it a little bit longer? We're making a lot of money, fam. Because it felt like it was just a perfect point to end it. Everybody had a happy ending, and all you had to do was say, oh yeah, Mikey had a happy ending. That's it. Tokyo Revengers is highly recommended. And the way he's able to go back in time is by holding Mikey's hand, and he goes, instead of 12 years, 10 years to the past that was never established. And yeah, this is straight up like, in the final act, we gotta add one more year's worth of content because that's gonna make dough. Best manga of 2021. It really deserves it. It's great. It's great. If you like Tokyo Revengers, if you rock with Tokyo Revengers, if you feel like it gets overhated, like this video.